Starting the week in Cincinnati today. This week, I got a 5-city week. I feel like we should have special alarms that go off when we have a 5-city week. So we're starting the week in Cincinnati, then driving to Columbus, and then from Columbus to Milwaukee, and then Milwaukee to Chicago, Chicago to Indianapolis, and then I'm also starting and ending the week in St. Louis. So arguably, or technically, that's a 6-city week. So special bonus for that. This week, we're going to be talking about one of the key characteristics of leadership, decisiveness. How to be decisive, how do you avoid regrets, how do you make decisions in an efficient manner. Got a couple client meetings today, so we're going to head on into the office. Let's do this.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
Way to Columbus from Cincinnati. We got Grant, who was volunteered to drive. This is the less sexy travel portion of today's vlog. Say hi, Grant and Mark.
Hi.
All right, so I made it to Columbus, had a nice drive up with Mark, who is one of my partners. What's beeping? This is my drone remote control. It's not supposed to be beeping like that. This week, we're going to be exploring, how to be decisive. How do you make decisions in an efficient, informed manner, and then not regret and really move on? I mean, how as a leader can you make the best type of informed decisions? It's time for bed. Good night. All right, I just got back from Columbus. Great trip. So how do I make decisions? So the first key to good decision making, to be a good leader, is to gather as much information as possible regarding the topic that you need to decide. This bridge was made famous in what movie? So I'm in the Cincinnati airport. Where the heck am I going? B21. Heading to Milwaukee. I'm in Milwaukee. I'm walking to the office. I'm below the US Bank Center, which is why it's a little hard to see me. When we talk about decision making, I want to stress the importance of, even if you have what you think is the decision in mind, that you still need to foster significant debate, significant discussion to test whatever those assumptions that you might have are. See, right there, that little blue stuff? It's Lake Michigan. All right, I'm heading up. What's the Amtrak station? Intermodal or is?
Intermodal station.
All right, finished my client meetings and planes, trains, and automobiles this week. This is not a paid endorsement for Amtrak. We're heading to Chicago?
Yes, we are.
All right, Chicago bound. train travel is fantastic. For those that have never done train travel, I would highly recommend it. It's quite more efficient in Europe, and who knows, maybe with an infrastructure bill, we'll bring high-speed trains to the US, hopefully during my lifetime. The next key component for being decisive and making good decisions after you've fostered debate, or as part of fostering debate, it's important for the person that's making the decision to keep an open mind. And even if you go into a decision thinking that you know what the right answer is you know what you're going to choose, make sure you listen to everybody and really absorb everything that people have to say, because it could sway you, it could influence you, and that's important. Today, I've got some internal meetings here in the office. We are playing BEPS Jeopardy. For those that don't know what BEPS is, follow my Twitter handle at Cross Border Tax. I've got 3 of my colleagues that have volunteered to be contestants. I will be the host, Alex Trebek, and so that should be a lot of fun. We're doing that in front of the entire Chicago International Tax and Transfer Pricing Practices. BEPS Jeopardy. These are my contestants, 2 of them. This is the crowd. That's Jeopardy. Awesome. Going to the airport, head to Indianapolis. Made it to Indy. Got to pick up my car. My last form of transportation this week. Planes? Check. Trains? Check. Automobiles? Check. Driving back to St. Louis, end of the week, 5 cities down, home to go. Be decisive. How do we make good decisions? How do leaders make good decisions and transparent decisions? The last piece of this puzzle is, after you've made the decision, I really believe that it's important to be transparent to your bosses, your leaders, as well as your subordinates and your team as far as how and why you made that decision. I think that fosters trust within an organization, and I really feel like it creates the bond that's necessary and the trust that's necessary to be a good leader. I got about 3 hours left, and then I will be home sweet home in St. Louis. Well, you know, St. Louis or Chicago or whatever, but I'm going to be in St. Louis this weekend. Made it back to St. Louis. There's my wife. There's my oldest daughter. There's my youngest daughter. All right. So, last piece of decision making. Don't have regrets. You know, it's important to sometimes look back at your decisions and figure out whether you made the right one, but you make a decision, you move on. All right. Well, I'm in my 6th city. It's been a heck of a week. I'm completely exhausted. I'm going to have a nice date with my wife tonight. Stay tuned next week. I'm going to Washington, D.C., then to Chicago, then somewhere in Michigan, then back to St. Louis, and then to L.A. for the following weekend. So stay tuned next week. Subscribe, like, comment, you know, get involved here, people. You know, this is a two-way street. I'm looking for some feedback here. But stay tuned. We'll see you next week. Ciao.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.